All right, well, welcome. I'm always excited to have these segments break up a busy week. So thank you. I have Joy and Tremaine and Rowan Peterson on the call today, and they are the proud new owners of a 1-800 Plumber and Air in Lehi, Utah. So welcome. Thanks for joining me, guys, after these months of searches. We get to celebrate.
Thank you. We're very happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. I mean, I think one of the most interesting things about doing this is tell people a little bit. I mean, we started working together. I was looking back and like, I think it was last summer. So it was kind of this, it took a while to kind of find the perfect fit and I think get everybody on board with the whole business ownership, and you had some life changes, like everything that could happen kind of happened while you were going through this. But talk a little bit, I think, just about your background, where you came from, and what kind of got you started thinking it's time, I'll say again, to own a business, because this isn't your first business. So I think that's an interesting thing.
So
too.
like you mentioned, Lisa, I had a pest control business years ago in Southern California. Ran that with a partner for almost over 8 years, and left that, did a number of things, and then kind of landed in software sales. And that's what I was doing prior to this.
Right.
And the software I was selling was for kind of local businesses. And I happened to work with a lot of, since I had a pest control business and was familiar with kind of the home service space, that's who I worked with selling software, and talked with a lot of, not just pest control guys, but painters, plumbers, electricians, HVAC guys, roofers, you name it. And after doing that for almost 6 years, going to their trade shows, sometimes going on site to their businesses, talking to them, I was always just so impressed with, what I saw a lot of the times. And it always, having had a business in the past, I was like, man, I'd love to get back into that when the time is right or whatever. And anyway, got a little older and decided it's time to make my move. So that's what got me, connected with you and starting to look at, what kind of opportunities are out there. And, I have no experience as a plumber. And so that was a concern when considering starting a plumbing business. But a lot of that was resolved through the validation and talking with other franchisees, and feeling very good about our decision right now. So
absolutely. And I'll say too, I think one of the biggest things from the very beginning, Joy, you were on the calls. I mean, and you were very watchful and observant and gave opinions and supportive. I don't think there was ever a time, I think, that you weren't as part of that whole decision. And I want to kind of get that out there for couples, how important that is, because you were able to learn along with Tremaine. I mean, I know he did extra things in the background, and because this was definitely going to be him, but I think talk a little bit about how you felt with that whole process of, okay, we might become business owners now.
Well, I agree with you. I do think it's really important for if you are a couple to both be on the calls, because I thought of things that he didn't think about.
Yep.
And then we also could, walk away and talk about it,
Right. And it wasn't him trying to download and explain information that was still fresh to him. Right.
Exactly.
So important. So
yeah.
thank
you. You kind of get two different perspectives, and I feel like our talking about it, we had better conversations because I was in on everything, and yeah, I did have my opinions, and
yeah, absolutely, and
that helps steer us.
Yeah, I will say, just to add to what she said, we don't always agree, like most couples always agree on everything. In fact, we have very different opinions about a lot of things. And so, and that's good, because that means we can offer something to the other person when we can take those very different perspectives and then come to an agreement and a decision together. We feel so much better about that decision.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think too, it'll get you through the tough days. Like when you're going, oh my goodness, what have we done? And it's like, no, we know we got this. Remember, we had the conversation, we saw this coming. So it's always good to see that united front, and also not backpedaling, not needing to say, okay, now I need to bring her or him on board because this is what we're doing, and then you lose months of
Right.
learning and education.
Yeah.
So good for you guys, and congratulations. So talk a little bit. I think it's very interesting, and you touched on it a little bit. You're not a plumber, and I, as you know, like I like kind of uglier businesses, service businesses, the ones that, you know, what kind of helped you make the decision that this is where you wanted to be in this space? And you looked at a couple of different different kind of service businesses, and I think you just kind of came back to the trades. But talk a little bit about that, and then too, you've been through training now, so how the franchisor kind of eased your mind in that hiring process.
So that was one of my biggest concerns. I had, you know, I don't have a plumbing background, but in a sense, that's also the opportunity. Like, I knew that it would force me to work on the business, not in the business.
Right.
Like if I was the master plumber, you know, the temptation to get out there and get in the field and get in the weeds would be very strong the minute anything went wrong or wasn't, you know, how I felt like it should be.
Right.
So this is going to force me to, you know, if you're starting a franchise, you're not starting it to, you know, just get into a job, you know, that then just sucks up all your time. Like you're trying to build a future, you know, that's what I'm trying to do.
Right.
And so that was a concern, and
trying to find people who are in your same situation.
Yes. Yeah. So when I was going through the validation process, and Joy makes a very important point, like this wasn't the only plumbing franchise I looked at, but it was the only that I could find during my validation where they had other people who also had no plumbing background who were seeing success. And so it was really good to get their perspective and see, well, hey, how did you do this? You know, how did you handle that? And
and I know it's the old franchise cliche, work on your business, not in your business. And like we all say it, but it's so true. Like the second you can see past exactly what needs to be done in this very second, that's when you're actually building a business with employees and invoices and all the wonderful things that go into it. So
yeah, my job's to build a team and get the right people in place. And if I you know, step away from that and try to say, oh no, I'm going to be the key team member over here or whatever, then no one's going to be there watching the business anymore, you know? And that's how you end up staying small. You never get to scale. And so this was a chance to, you know, the opportunity, you know, was kind of forced me to focus on the right things. So good for you. Okay, Rowan, are you ready? All right. Okay. So we'd like to pop the confetti and celebrate, because this is a brave, wonderful time in someone's life. It's, you know, except for probably marriage and kids, this is a big decision. This is one of those bigger ones, right? So you're brave to make it, and I'm happy to celebrate with you. So Rowan, are we ready to go? You know which direction you're going to roll it? Okay.
All right, ready?
You do it this direction.
Just right here. Like
Wait.
this, right there.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2,
2, 3.
Did it work?
Oh, that was great.
Isn't that fun? So now you got to keep that out for a while. Leave it just for at least a day, Joy. I know it's hard, but but celebrate and remember. And thank you guys so much for working with me. I really appreciate it, and I'll be checking in. I like to know how things are going, and you're my new validators, right? So
thanks, Lisa. You were great.
Have to say you've been awesome and amazing to work with, and very easy to work with, and we really appreciate that. And
never felt any pressure, just a lot of guidance and good counsel. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys have a great night, and again, we'll talk to you probably in a couple months. I'll be checking in.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
We'll see you.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.